What is up, guys? It's your favorite transparent YouTuber, Transparent Hoodie, back at you with another video. So this particular video is not only going to be on my channel, it's also going to be on the Anime Legends channel. Obviously, because if you guys are watching it, one of the two places, I'm pretty sure you'll find it in either or channels, right? So again, like that's neither here or there though. So today we're definitely going to be talking about Mieruko-Chan, a new series that I gotten a chance to read pretty much yesterday. Like I kind of banged out this series yesterday. It's a newer series with not too many chapters to really go with it. I also got some of the Anime Legends to check out the actual manga itself. Like I honestly don't know whether or not they've been reading it before. I mean, they could have, but like it's nice to know if it is true that I was the one to introduce them to this series. But again, like this series isn't the most craziest thing in the world. I think it's more or less like a nice passive read. Like you don't have to, or it doesn't give off those vibes at all where it's kind of like you have to read it right away, or it doesn't have those, like, I guess, cliffhanger moments, or the stakes or tension doesn't feel that high for you to kind of want to eagerly read it. For the most part, what kind of kept me entertained throughout the whole read was kind of just seeing how, like, the main character, Mieruko, kind of deals with the situation that she's kind of in, having to, ignore all the supernatural activities that's placed in front of her. So I guess before we even get into that, let's just start from the beginning, right? So the story takes place in this small town. The town itself, from memory, I don't necessarily remember whether or not the town name was ever stated, but I doubt it. But given that this is a Japanese manga, I'm just going to assume that it's in some place in Japan, right? So pretty much we kickstart the story with the main character. She encounters her first ever supernatural being, because I don't know what exactly are these things. For the most part, I guess you can chop them up as ghosts, but some of them are they vary as you go through the story, and I'll try to not spoil anything, so if you guys do want to read it, you guys can enjoy it, because again, if I spoil anything, you're not going you're pretty much gonna lose out on all the, I guess, little small plot twists that the story tries to give you. So as you go through the story, it kind of does play with the idea of what is a ghost, what's a poltergeist, even though ghosts and poltergeists are the same shit, just different names for them. But again, they still do play around with that realm of what exactly is Mieruko seeing while she goes through her everyday life, because you could chop up this whole story as she's just seeing ghosts, but as you kind of go through the story and you see certain things happening and stuff like that, you kind of make those questions where it's just like, hey, are these things only ghosts? Because a lot of the characters that she is encountered with, not really go up against, but she encounters with, they're kind of more self-aware and more active than some of the other, I guess you could say, ghost-like characters are. So I guess if you want to, you can kind of just make your own distinctions about what exactly is that, or what it could be, because this story does seem like it's going to turn up the notch a little bit when it comes to just what this narrative is gonna later be. But right now, I guess I can kind of say it feels more like a wholesome comedy. It for sure feels like a wholesome comedy. I think the thing that made me more or less more entertained, because I couldn't gauge, well, I didn't really ask them. I think my friends are kind of reading this pretty idly, they're not reading it to bang it out, because I was reading it to bang it out because there was other stuff I wanted to read, but I read it to bang it out. And pretty much again, the thing that kind of kept me wanting to read it was just the idea that this chick just has to ignore all these ghosts. And I don't know, it just came off so hilarious to me, because I think the funniest thing about this other particular character from other series that I loved about him was just how he also kind of ignored, it was to a point where it was just detriment to him. This dude straight up just ignored fucking everything. The most craziest, outlandish thing can't be explained by science, can't be explained by the mere mortal mind. This man is just yo, forget this. This is all special effects. And if you guys don't know the character I'm talking about Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh, man. Kaiba to me, well, I mean, when I was a kid, it didn't really click, but when I rewatched Yu-Gi-Oh as a young adult, that moment when Kaiba just ignores all this shit was just hilarious to me, man. It also reminds me of, only because me and Kim, the one that pretty much is, I guess, one of the pillars of anime legends. Like we kind of talk about Hitman Reborn every now and then. Like this kind of also reminds me of Yamamoto when he kind of just ignores the fact that all of this is kind of serious and he just thinks everything is a game, but it's not a game. Just like in this series, like the things that Mieruko is seeing in the series, it's very real, and she's trying to find her own little balance of just having to deal with like seeing all of these different, you know, ghouls, monsters, spiritual beings. Like we don't know what they are, but yeah. So I guess the only thing I could really talk about is characters per se. So I gave you guys pretty much the bulk of Mieruko's character, where she's just trying to live her everyday life while at the same time ignoring all of these things that she's seeing. And I kind of also want to add too that I think is actually pretty dope that for the most part, like, there's that tension there. Like, I'm not saying the tension is very high because we don't necessarily know what's going to happen, / it's kind of, I don't know, like, I really don't know what's going to happen because I kind of want to say the tension is a bit the tension is a bit over dramatic in a sense based off of the context that's given, only because it's like we know that the ghost or these like beings of the afterlife, right? The beings of the afterlife, they can't interact with anything from the living, right? So they can't interact with Mieruko at all. Like Mieruko can straight up pass through these people. She could straight up go through them. They go through her. So like there's these moments in the series that I'm not gonna lie that are in like they're very, very like intense. So where she has to like seriously like ignore these like I guess ghouls from the afterlife. We're just gonna call them ghouls from the afterlife. She has to ignore these ghouls from the afterlife because when they know that someone else can see them, they kind of go on these weird forensic modes where it's just like they either just lunge at you or try to attack you. But I don't know what that leads to. Like, do you die, or maybe they're trying to possess the person that can see them, or they only can possess people that can see them or acknowledges them. Maybe that's the kind of pull away from that. But again, like, it's nothing that I need an explanation for right away. Like, they can easily, like, you know, like go into that. Like, that's fine. Like, I'm here to wait. I'm here to enjoy the series for what it is. But yeah, like, that was just something that I felt like, I don't know if it was really anticlimactic when a ghost do acknowledge Mieruko can see them, and they kind of do this weird like, what, you could see me, and then like, all right, let's go. But like I said, like, it could just be like they need a host or something like that to re-interact with the world of the living. So like if an individual is able to see them, they'll just possess that individual because they might have that resonance or something like that. But again, I don't know. Like, that's just my own speculation because that's the only thing I can actually see happening, because again, they can't hurt each other. So yeah, that's pretty much Mieruko. I found her character to be pretty enjoyable for the most part. She wasn't the craziest thing I've seen in a manga. Like, her character for the most part is pretty simple, which isn't a bad thing. I feel like nowadays, like, we need these really overcomplicated, overarching characters. Like, Mieruko was fine how she is. Like, she's not the best character ever, but she's also not the worst character ever. I thought she was pretty alright. But segue. Hannah to me, I don't know, like, she is that ditzy, whimsical character that I feel like every series has. But Hannah, I just like her character because it's like she's whimsical and ditzy, but they also kind of mention how, like, low-key she's that chick though. Like, she's that chick. Like, just using Bleach terminology, like, if we was in an episode of Bleach, or I guess in a chapter of Bleach, Hannah is low-key that chick, yo. Like, she has just this overwhelming energy to her that affects people around her, as well as it affects the ghost that lingers around the area. So like, ghosts naturally are attached and they just kind of reside around her because of her massive level of, like, I guess, energy that she just exudes. But it's just like, man, like, Hannah, I don't know, she's such a whimsical character. For the most part, I did get a couple of, like, smirks. She got a couple of smirks out of me and a couple of smiles, I'm not gonna lie. Like, is she annoying? I don't know. Like, I feel like that's definitely something that could be mentioned, right? Is she annoying? I I didn't really find her all that annoying, honestly. I felt her character for the most part was done pretty well. Like, she wasn't overbearing for the most part. She was, well, the way how I read it anyway, right? Because, you know, this is all matter of perspective, depending on how you read the context. But I just felt like she was just an okay character. You know, she had her moments, and I don't know, I just didn't really find her all that annoying. Like, she just felt okay to me. Yeah, she felt okay to me. But that's all I can really say about the character. She's kind of out of the loop. Like, for the most part, when it comes to her character, she doesn't really do much within the story itself. When it comes to the ghost plot line, she's kind of just like Miruko's friend, and how they kind of live high school or middle school or high school together. But yeah, I thought Hannah was pretty dope. And then I'm not gonna lie, Julia, which is the next character we're gonna start talking about, Julia was definitely a nice character to get introduced into the series when they did. Because for the most part, this series, I'm not saying it has bad pacing, because the pacing was actually pretty good, but the gimmick of the girls kind of got old and stale. Like, it'll get old and stale after the first couple of chapters, and because you're gonna want the plot to develop in a way where Miruko eventually just, I guess, take ownership of the situation and kind of see what she can do to stop these ghosts from, you know, popping up, or stop the malicious seeming ghosts from doing their thing. But obviously this is supposed to be a slow burn. Like, you're supposed to get a feel for the characters. So to kind of find that balance between, all right, what can I do to not rush the plot too fast while we're still building it up, but at the same time add a new element so that the fans could still be entertained while things are still going on. And boom, that's when we get Julia. Julia was probably one of the nicest additions to the story earlier on, only because, like I said, Miruko, her gimmick is set in stone for the first couple of chapters, right? Like, you get the same consistent gimmick for a bit. And if you're me, I was just kind of like, okay, we're gonna deal with this for a bit, but I do hope they change it up and switch it up, because I don't want to have to deal with this all the way through the whole series up until the 24th chapter, because there's only 24 chapters. So when they add Julia into the mix, it was just it felt so nice. Like, they did it in such a good manner as well. I really did like that, because before the characters got too stale, they added a new element to actually, you know, help the plot along. While you're still enjoying these characters, you get to have a new dynamic and a new point of view from a different character. And my God, do Julia have a very, very interesting point of view. This girl, she functions in her own world. Like, I know she's younger than Hannah and Miruko, but my God, Julia functions on her own little world. But I do like the character, and I do like how she's another character who functions on the same wavelength as Miruko, where it's pretty much like she also was able to see ghosts and stuff, and I thought that was pretty cool. But she is not on the same level of Miruko, where Julia is able to see, probably, I want to say, like, low-level spirits. If we're gonna gauge it that way, she can see low-level spirits, while Miruko can see these. Wow, like, she sees some stuff, guys. Like, she sees some intense stuff, and you'll definitely notice that throughout the whole series itself. Like, she sees some stuff to the point where, like, Julia obviously knows that she can see, but she's not seeing things in the magnitude that Miruko can see. And I really do like that. And also, like, towards the end of the series, things do really pick up. Like, things really do pick up. But I'm not going to say anything. This is going to be definitely a spoiler-free review or overview. It's not really a review because it's not over, right? So this is an overview of the series. And man, it's actually pretty enjoyable for the most. Like, it's pretty enjoyable. I was about to say for the most part. I felt like I've been saying for the most part throughout this whole video. But the series, it is enjoyable. Like, I did like it. Like, it had wholesome moments. The beginning part to me felt like a comedy, so that's kind of why it built a lot of momentum for me. Like, as I was going through it, it did make me laugh, on top of made me curious to see what was going to happen later on. Especially, I think once you get to what chapter was it? Chapter 9. Chapter 9 hits you hard, but I'm not going to tell you how though. But chapter 9 definitely hits you hard, because me and Kim, we were definitely talking about that as well, where it was just like chapter 9 was really a good chapter. Like, it really does show you the potential of, like, what this ability could do for herself, for other people, and for some of the things that she sees. But But like I said, like if you guys are looking for a cool passive series, something just to read for now, not too long, something you could pick up really quick, then I'll definitely recommend this. Also, if you guys need another series to put under your belt, if you are kind of in that slump where some of your series is ending because Demon Slayer recently just ended, you can add this series to the your list of things to look out for. This chapter got last updated on the 9th. It was either the 9th. Yeah, it was either the 9th or maybe sometime like the week after. So from the 10th to 16th. The latest chapter got released sometime there. So yeah. I think this is a weekly series too. Is it a weekly or bi-weekly series? I don't know. But yeah, if you guys definitely need another series because it's either you just want more stuff to read or you just don't have much to read currently, you could definitely add this to your list because I feel like this is a decent just throwaway series. The plot right now is kind of up in the air. No, well, not the plot, but the genre right now is kind of up in the air. I can't necessarily tell you what type of genre it is besides like slice of life, supernatural, and slice of life, supernatural, a little ecchi. It has a little ecchi, nothing too overbearing at the moment anyway. And I kind of like how they kind of keep it very mellow tone. Like they don't over exaggerate on it like how other series do. Like it has its ecchi like moments here and there, but like I said, it mostly focuses on the supernatural aspect / the comedic aspect between characters. But yeah, the story is really good. I hope they continue focusing on the supernatural aspect, like slowly build that up. Obviously I feel like right now they're definitely putting the comedic aspect up front just for the couple of laughs just before things get kind of hectic and crazy. But yeah, like I'm down for the slow burn. Like I'm 100% down for the slow burn. But yeah, if you guys have already seen this series, for sure let me know what you think about it because I think this series has a lot of potential. Is it going to be the greatest series of all time? I doubt it. Like no series is going to, you know, break the perception that we have on manga or anime or whatever. But for the most part, I do like I said, like it's a fun series to read and just get through or whatever. But yeah, if you guys seen the series, definitely let me know what you guys felt about it in the comment section down below. If you guys are going to read the series, definitely check it out. And like I said, after you check it out, come back again, let me know what you guys thought. But this is Transparent. Signing out. Definitely do subscribe to both channels, whichever channel you're watching this on, whether it's Anime Legends or my own personal channel. Definitely subscribe to both. We're going to have more content, more wild reactions, more reviews, more hullabaloo out there. So yeah, you guys have a good one and peace.